My dear students of Standard 10, Zankar Educational Series welcomes you. Let's enjoy learning Science and Technology Part 2. Chapter 1. Heredity and Evolution. Heredity is the transfer of biological characters from one generation to another via genes. Research started in the direction of finding the nature of genetic material when it was proved that genes are carried via chromosomes. Also, it was proved that except viruses, all living organisms have DNA as genetic material. Transcription, translation and translocation. With the help of RNA, the genes present in the form of DNA participate in the functioning of cell and thereby control the structure and functioning of the body. Information about protein synthesis is stored in the DNA, and synthesis of appropriate proteins as per requirement is necessary for body. These proteins are synthesized by DNA through the RNA. This is central dogma. Messenger RNA is produced as per the sequence of nucleotides on DNA. Only one of the two strands of DNA is used in this process. The sequence of nucleotides in mRNA being produced is always complementary to the DNA strand used for synthesis. Besides, there is uracil in RNA instead of thiamine of DNA. This process of RNA synthesis is transcription. The mRNA formed in nucleus comes in cytoplasm and brings in the coded message from DNA. The message contains the codes for amino acid, and the code for each amino acid consists of 3 nucleotides, which is called as triplet codon. Each mRNA is made up of thousands of triplet codons. As per the message on mRNA, amino acids are supplied by the tRNA. For this purpose, tRNA has anti-codon having complementary sequence to the codon on mRNA, which is called as translation. The amino acids brought in by tRNA are bonded together by peptide bonds with the help of rRNA. During this process, the ribosome keeps on moving from one end of the mRNA to another end by the distance of one triplet codon. This is translocation. Such many chains come together to form complex proteins, and they control various functions in the body of living organisms and their appearance too. Living organisms can produce new individuals like themselves due to genes only, and some of those genes are transmitted to the next generation without any changes. However, sometimes sudden changes occur in those genes. Sometimes any nucleotide of the gene changes its position. That causes a minor change, which is nothing but the mutation. This is everlasting process. Evolution. It is the gradual change occurring in living organisms over a long duration, and this is a very slow going process through which development of organisms is achieved. Formation of new species due to changes in specific characters of several generations of living organisms as a response to natural selection is called evolution. 3.5 billion years ago, life had been non-existent on the earth. At the beginning, there may have been only simple elements in the ocean on the earth, and simple type of organic and inorganic compounds may have been formed from those. Complex compounds like proteins and nucleic acids may have formed over a long period from those simple compounds. First primitive type of cells may have been formed from the mixture of different types of organic and inorganic compounds. Number of those cells may have increased at the cost of surrounding chemicals. There may have been some differences among those cells, and according to the principle of natural selection, some may have shown good growth and some may have perished which could not adjust with the surrounding. At present, crores of species of plants and animals with huge diversity regarding shape and complexity are present on the earth. Different theories about origin and evolution of life have been proposed till today, of which theory of gradual development of living organisms is accepted. So let's see the theory of evolution. According to this theory, first living material, that means protoplasm, has been formed in ocean. Then, in due course of time, unicellular organism was formed. Gradually, the unicellular organisms got converted into more complex organisms. All these changes were slow and gradual, which took around 300 crore years. These changes were multidimensional, which lead to evolution of different types of organisms, and hence this overall process is called as evolution. Then evidences of evolution. It implies that evolution is everlasting process of changes. However, it needs proof to prove it. So let's see these various proofs available in support of the theories mentioned here. The first one, morphological evidences. Various similarities like structure of mouth, position of eyes, structure of nostrils and ear pinna, and thickly distributed hair on body are seen in animals, whereas similarities in characters like leaf shape, leaf venation, leaf petiole occur in case of plants. This indicates that there are some similarities in those groups, and hence it proves that their origin must be same and must have common ancestors. Secondly, anatomical evidences. Here you can see some parts of body. There doesn't seem any superficial similarity between human hand, cat's foreleg, flipper of well, and patagium of bat. Also, use of each of these structures is different. However, there is similarity in structure of bones and bony joints in organs of each of those animals. This similarity indicates that those animals may have common ancestor. Then, vestigial organs. Degenerated or underdeveloped useless organs of organisms are called as vestigial organs. In living organisms, sudden development of new tissues is not possible. Instead, existing organs undergo gradual changes. Mostly, a specific structure in the body is useful under certain situations, but same structure may not be useful in different situations. Such structure begins to degenerate under such situation as per the principle of natural selection. It takes 1,000 years for a structure to disappear. Such organs are seen in different phases of disappearance in different animals. Such organ, though non-functional, it may be functional in other organisms. That is, it is not vestigial in other organisms. For example, appendix. It is useless to human but fully functional organ in humans. Then paleontological evidences. Large number of organisms get buried due to disasters like flood, earthquake, volcano, etc. Remnants and impressions of such organisms remain preserved underground. These are fossils. Study of fossils is an important aspect of study of evolution. Carbon consumption of animals and plants stops after death and since then only the decaying process of C protein occurs continuously. In case of dead bodies of plants and animals, instead of remaining constant, the ratio between C14 and C12 changes continuously as C12 is non-radioactive. The time passed since the death of a plant or animal can be calculated by measuring the radioactivity of C14 and ratio of C14 to C12 present in their body. This is carbon dating method and used in paleontology and anthropology for determining the age of human fossils and manuscripts. Then connecting links. Some plants and animals show some morphological characters by which they can be related to two different groups. Hence, they are called as connecting links. For example, in peripatus, characters like segmented body, thin cuticle, and parapodia-like organs are present. Similarly, these animals show tracheal respiration and open circulatory system similar to arthropods. This indicates that peripatus is connecting link between the annelida and arthropoda. Similarly, duck-billed platypus lays eggs like reptiles but shows relationship with mammals too due to presence of mammary glands and hairs. This shows that mammals are evolved from reptiles. Then embryological evidences. Comparative study of embryonic developmental stages of various vertebrates shows that all embryos show extreme similarities during initial stages and those similarities decrease gradually. This indicates the common origin of all these animals. Then Darwin's theory of natural selection. Charles Darwin had collected innumerable specimens of plants and animals, and depending upon the observations of those specimens, he published the theory of natural selection, which preaches the survival of fittest. Darwin had published a book titled Origin of Species. Darwin says, all the organisms compete with each other in a life-threatening manner. In this competition, only those organisms sustain which show the modifications essential for winning the competition. However, besides this, natural selection also plays important role because nature selects only those organisms which are fit to live and the rest perish. Darwin's theory of natural selection was widely accepted for long duration, but there are some objections like natural selection is not the only factor responsible for evolution. Darwin did not mention any explanation about useful and useless modifications. There is no explanation about slow changes and abrupt changes. Irrespective of all these objections, Darwin's work on evolution has been a milestone. Then Lamarckism. Lamarck proposed that morphological changes occurring in living organisms are responsible for evolution, and the reason behind these morphological changes is activities or laziness of that organism. He called this concept as principle of use or disuse of organs. For example, the neck of giraffe has become too long due to browsing on leaves of tall plants by extending their neck for several generations. Wings of birds like ostrich and emu have become weak due to no use. Snakes have lost their legs by modifications in their body for burrowing habit. These are all types of acquired characters and are transferred from one to another generation, and this is called as theory of inheritance of acquired characters or Lamarckism. Development of organs due to specific activities or their degeneration due to no use was widely accepted, but transfer of those characters from generation to generation was rejected. The living organism can transfer the characters which it has acquired to the next generation, and this is called ancestry of acquired characters. Then speciation. Formation of new species of plants and animals is the effect of evolution. Species is the group of organisms that can produce fertile individuals through natural reproduction. Each species grows in specific geographical conditions. Their food, habitat, reproductive ability and period is different. However, genetic variation is responsible for formation of new species from earlier one. Geographical or reproductive isolation also leads to speciation. Then human evolution. Last dinosaurs disappeared approximately 7 crore years ago. At that time, monkey-like animals are said to be evolved from some ancestors who were more or less similar to the modern lemurs. Tail of these monkey-like animals of Africa is said to be disappeared about 4 crore years ago. They developed due to enlargement in brain. Their hands were also improved and thus ape-like animals were evolved. They reached the South and Northeast Asia and finally evolved into gibbon and orangutan. Remaining ape-like animals stayed in Africa, and from them gorilla and chimpanzee evolved about 2.5 crore years ago. Evolution of some of the 2 crore year old species of apes seem to be occurred in different way. They had to use their hands more for eating food and other work. Those apes started to live on lands and their lumbar bones developed in such a way that they started to stand in erect posture in grasslands, and thereby their hands became available for use any time. First record of human-like animal is with us in the form of Ramapithecus ape from East Africa. Afterwards, the ape grown up in size and became more intelligent, and thus the ape of South Africa evolved about 40 lakh years ago. The morphology of these human-like animals started to appear to be the member of the genus Homo about 20 lakh years ago, and the skilled human developed. About 15 lakh years ago, human walking with erect posture was evolved in China and Indonesia. For the period of about 1 lakh years, the development of brain continued, and meanwhile the man discovered the fire, and then it could be considered as member of the class wise man, that is Homo sapiens. Neanderthal man can be considered as the first example of wise man, and the Cro-Magnon man evolved about 50,000 years ago. About 10,000 years ago, wise man started to practice the agriculture and cultural development took place.